Hi, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Beyond the Tryline podcast, episode 20. It's your boy Rugby League Roundup, and today we are breaking down everything from the incredible State of Origin Game 3 for New South Wales fans. After three big games, we finally got our winners, and those are the New South Wales Blues claiming a 2-1 series victory and a 30-12 victory in Queensland on Wednesday night. There is so much to unpack from this game. Nathan Cleary produced probably his greatest performance of his Origin career. The Blues dominated through the middle. There were some big moments, including the Bradman Best try, which we'll get into, some HIAs, which will affect some of these teams on the weekend, and a well-deserved victory for the New South Wales Blues, which we are going to be talking about. Um, let's start to kick off. The atmosphere at Suncorp Stadium was absolutely unbelievable. As a New South Wales fan, I was really nervous for this game, especially with all the criticism of our squad, the fact that we were very big underdogs going into this match, and the criticism of Laurie Daly going into this match as well, and his selections over the three games. Um, the first real talking point we'll get into here is in the fourth minute, as you can see on the screen here. Hudson Young, he did a lifting tackle on Jojo Fafita in good field position too. So that means that Maroons were able to get good field position quite early, and it means we're going to have to show our defense was good to start the game, and we definitely did that, and we didn't concede, which was the best bit about that, and we turned it around because from that moment we were able to get good field position. We were able to battle ourselves back into the game for about 5 minutes. It was probably a bit more Queensland than New South Wales, but in the ninth minute of the game, eighth minute actually, Jojo Fafita drops the ball off a Nathan Cleary kick. And something I want to highlight about that is Jack Bostock. I mean, the aerial threat that Jack Bostock posed in this game was huge. And if we had Brighton To'o in that side, I'm not sure we see an error there. So that was a big moment, and it forced Queensland to make a play at that ball, and they were really, really scared after that. Um, this was very huge, and it probably would have been the play that got us the opening try of the game when we shifted the ball from left to right, from Cleary going out to Moses, Moses going out the back to Bradman Best, and Best tips it on to Jack Bostock. Unfortunately, Jack Bostock drops the ball, and an error is made, which really let Queensland off the hook. We could have had a 4-0 lead early in the eighth minute, but yeah, it was just very unfortunate, and unfortunate for Jack Bostock too, because he's the one that earned that set of six for us, and he really deserved the try there. Just getting into some comments here. User23, big fan, Cuzzy, thank you. Annie Exos, hey, hi Billy, up the Mighty Blues. I hope you have been reminding Big T which state gets Origin. Yeah, there's poor Big T is unfortunately a Queensland fan, and yeah, he has been hearing about it for the last few days. But just heading back into that play there, I mean, everything about it was perfect. The shape, the timing, the pass. I mean, even Best's pass to Bostock was really good. Just unfortunately, Bostock couldn't handle it. So that's unfortunate. Um, when that happened, I did think, wow, that if that haunts us, if that comes back to bite us in the ass, I'm going to be so annoying. But thankfully it didn't, because 2 minutes later, Queensland come up with an error through Ruben Cotter. I mean, that is just poor. Like, it was the most shit error I've ever seen. It came from a good dummy half pass from Harry Grant. Literally all Ruben Cotter does, he gets the ball, looks up, and the ball falls behind him and drops the ball. It was good for us because obviously they were quite scared. We built some more pressure, and in the 12th minute, Nathan Cleary does launch a kick for Mark Nawakanitawase. It wasn't brought down by Marky Mark, but then again, we had it all over their wingers. Not like game 2, where their wingers had it all over us, and they were kicking all over us. We were kicking all over him on Wednesday night, and Queensland were quite scared. So, just those signs just really made me happy because we didn't have that threat, and we didn't have the aerial threat, I assume, like obviously Cobbo and Jojo Fafita had. Marky Mark wasn't great in the air in terms of catching the ball, but I guess it comes with how he is in general, because, I mean, for the Roosters, he is an absolute aerial monster. So, yeah, big improvements in the aerial side of the game. Just a few minutes later, I think it was Marky Mark as well that forced an error from Queensland in Selwyn Cobbo. It was Queensland that made an error off another bomb from Nathan Cleary, and they were shitting themselves at that point. We were winning the field position. We're getting over the 50 meters every time we had a set. And in the 15th minute here, where we forced that error, we really got, I think we got within 10 meters. And this is where Nathan Cleary absolutely took control. Reece Robson fires the ball out to Nathan Cleary on the third tackle. Nathan Cleary steps off his right. He sold Kurt Capewell. He shrugged away from Ruben Cotter, and he beat Ponga and Munster to dive over the try line, and that made it 4-0. And for me, that was Nathan Cleary announcing himself to the big stage. I mean, we've been waiting for a performance like this from Nathan Cleary for a few years now. 2020 decider, unfortunately, didn't win it. That was when Queensland had the worst supposed Queensland team of all time. 2022 decider didn't win, and last year's decider we didn't win. And Cleary's copped lots of criticism about this, but he took control of this game, and we'll get into more highlights that he's done. But as he always does, he converts his tries, and we got off to a 6-0 lead in the first 15 minutes. Queensland, though, did have an opportunity to come back a few minutes later and get themselves back into the match in the 17th minute, where they were on our 40. Kalen Ponga throws a nice cutout ball to Selwyn Cobbo, and unfortunately for Queensland, Selwyn Cobbo slips over the sideline. He tries to throw it back in, but he slid into touch, which was quite poor in terms of execution. And I think in game 1 or game 2, they probably would have got that right, and Cobbo would have streamed down the wing. But Queensland were rattled, and that really was good stuff from the New South Wales side to put that fear into them. Just a few minutes later, though, you see a Hudson Young error here in the 18th minute. Now, this came from a beautiful passage of play. Payne Haas carrying it through the middle. He attracted a couple of defenders. I think it was Cameron Munster, and it would have been, I think, Ruben Cotter at the time. He got an offload away. Mitchell Moses was behind him in support. He shifted it off to Nathan Cleary. Cleary fired a beautiful bullet of a pass out to Bradman Best. Best straightens up, takes the line on, and offloads it back on the inside to Hudson Young. Hudson Young looked like he was going to go in for a try until it was if it wasn't for Harry Grant to get in there and make that try-saving tackle from behind, by the way, it was a beautiful tackle. Uh, we probably could have scored, but Harry Grant, I mean, just a big game player. I don't even think the cause of the loss was stemmed from him. He was probably one of their better players, in my opinion. But that try saver was absolutely beautiful. From a New South Wales fan perspective, obviously pissed off at the time. I've had some time to settle down now and get my honest thoughts out, and it was a good try saver. But at that point, like, I wasn't really nervous in terms of attack because it just felt like we were piling absolute amounts of pressure on them, and they were absolutely crapping themselves every single time. And I'm going to say it again and again. I mean, we didn't see this in game one or game two. They had it all over us, especially until that send off in game one. We were probably the worst sides, and we were down 20-6. So this game was completely different. We stepped it up. They weren't ready for it. They are not used to being favourites at all, apparently, for some reason. But yeah, there's no excuse for that. They did play pretty poorly, and we played really good. Let's just go through some comments here. Yoza says, "Where's your Queensland spirit now?" That's right. New South in their mouths. Good to see our boys get up, and good to hear he should wear a Blues jersey on Tuesday's show. Yep, we'll have to get Big T on to that. Where is Scoop? Scoop had some family business to attend to, so it's just me for tonight. It's a bit weird trying to being by myself, but we'll get through it, and I'll get used to it eventually because this is what I want to do, and I'm going to stay as consistent as possible no matter what. Moving back into the game, though, I think it's where we go from this play here to the 27th minute. I think Queensland gave us 6 again for a ruck infringement in the 26th minute here. Ruben Cotter, ruck infringement. Now, Ruben Cotter, I'm pretty sure he had a really poor game. Gave us six again away, and the best part about it is we scored because of it. Isaiah gets the ball, first receiver, goes out the back to Nathan Cleary, who gave a short ball to Liam Martin. By the way, Liam Martin, what an inclusion this guy was. I mean, the absolute fear he brought into Cameron Munster was so good to see. I mean, we just needed it. We needed that sort of player to go and make the halves shit themselves. But moving back to the play, Liam Martin gets an arm free, offloads to his former Penrith teammate, Stephen Crichton. Crichton beats Caleb Ponga with a fend. He finds Mark Nawakanita-Wase on the wing, and Marky Mark shows exactly why New South Wales picked him, because he stepped on the inside of Selwyn Cobbo and without even looking, throws an inside ball to Nathan Cleary to make it 10-0. And wow, what a piece of team play. That whole sequence was just so brilliant to watch. I mean, honestly, Cleary in support, diving over for his second try of the night. And that's probably my favorite try of the entire series. The build up to it, the 6 again, Liam Martin's offload, Stephen Crichton finding Marky Mark with the step. It was just brilliant. Cleary made it 10-0 and then obviously converted his own try to make it 12-0 in the 27th minute. And this point, mate, New South Wales, it was looking really bad for the Queensland side. And yeah, it was quite a pleasure to see that. So 12-0 here, and moving into the next big play of the game was Mitchell Moses from our 30 kicks the ball down to Selwyn Cobbo. Selwyn runs 20 meters and he slipped over. But the best part about Selwyn slipping over is I don't know what happened. He just seemed to stop in the middle of the 20, and Selwyn Cobbo got stripped by Nathan Cleary. Now, Nathan Cleary scored 2 tries, and you could argue those 2 tries are his best plays of the night. But this was probably the most influential play of the night. To strip that ball straight out of Selwyn Cobbo's hands like that easily, I mean, it just showed we were hungrier than them. Yeah, I mean, they spent already probably 15 to 20 minutes of this game defending, and we made them pay again. Robson finds Cameron Murray close to the line. Murray shrugged through a Trent Loiero tackle and reached out to plant the ball down right beside the post and make it 16-0. Obviously, another one, Nathan Cleary converted to put the lead out to 18-0 in the 30th minute. And some real honesty from a New South Wales fan. No, I did not expect New South Wales to dominate the game or the first half like this at all. I'm still obviously a bit on the edge of my seat. Although it's 18-0, I've seen worse, bigger scores have comebacks, and it was proven that Queensland was still not to mess with, because in the 34th minute, Queensland put a very good attacking set together. They found their way back into the game. Harry Grant jumping out of dummy half, found Cameron Munster. Munster got it out the back to Kalen Ponga and gave it to Hamaso Tabuai-Fidow. And the problem, and Hamaso scored off this. Hamaso found the gap and just went straight through. The problem was with the sliding defense. In the lead up to that try, you saw that Nathan Cleary didn't slide quite out all the way, which means Stephen Crichton was caught infield, and that gave Hamiso the space to just plunge over for a try. Very well executed from the Queensland side, and this is where I thought, okay, if they get more ball here, they could really be back in the match. But it wasn't to be. But with that try, you just can't give Hamiso a gap at all. He will exploit you on every single time. I mean, his pace is absolutely a threat for any team. He makes the Dolphins really good. And yeah, he got that gap and there's no stopping him. So that made it 18-4. Sam Walker had the chance to get it to 18-6, but he missed it to the left of the post. I mean, Sam Walker, before this game, was 12 from 12 for conversions. So I had all but thought that he would get this in quite easily. He missed it, though, to the left. And that was quite a big moment for us. Even though we were still in front, it felt important that moment that he missed, because they needed 3 tries to get back into the game. But yeah, it was very important, that kick, and probably gave Queensland some more nerves. Now, something that isn't on the play-by-play sheet here, but I'm pretty sure everyone will remember this, is the biggest hit of the night. Liam Martin, freaking flying out of the line, absolutely folded Robert Toya in half. I mean, Robert Toya taking I think it was a second tackle hit up. He got absolutely bent. It was a massive tackle. Liam Martin got low and absolutely drove him into the ground. That's the aggressiveness we needed from Liam Martin. We hadn't had that from Dylan Lucas or Homoli, although Homoli, I think, wasn't given a fair shot at Origin. Definitely Dylan Lucas didn't do any of it, and Liam Martin, 100%. That was what we got him in for, just to make him shit themselves really hard. But something that is in the play-by-play stats here that I'm about to get into is right on halftime with 50 seconds left. I think it was Munster put up a bomb towards Jack Bostock, and Bostock ran about 20 metres to try and catch it, but it bounced off his chest, and Queensland got the ball back with Britton Nicola, and Nicola ran straight at James Tedesco. The big talking point of this game, James Tedesco getting a head clash from this tackle. Both of them clashing heads in the collision, and you could tell immediately Tedesco was not going to come back on the field, although was ruled a Category 2. That impact on that tackle, on the head clash itself, you could see he was probably on the floor for about 6 to 8 seconds. And that's when you immediately just think, okay, health and safety first. Just rule him out. We have the back line on the bench, and we did bring Tolakula on. But losing Tedesco right on halftime is, you're talking about losing your fullback, losing your captain, or one of your captain's leaders, whatever. He's been a captain for New South Wales before, and one of your most experienced Origin players on the field, to have him go off for a HIA, something that really worried me. But Nicola stared down at him like the dog he is, because Queenslanders, they think they got it all over us. They were 18 forward down, and he was looking at Tedesco like, oh, you're shit. Anyway, Nicola, the stupid man, runs straight at Jack Bostock with his arms up like this and forearms him into the face and gives a penalty away. I mean, if that just didn't show the poor discipline that Queensland had in this half, I mean, I don't know what does. So, yeah, that was big for us. Nicola giving a penalty away, and I think you could see Queensland's frustration starting to show. So now we get into halftime here. We know that we've lost James Tedesco. Cameron Munster goes up to the ref and starts giving the ref absolute shit. I mean, he's gone up to the ref and gone, oh, I just feel this is so unfair. You're giving him so many 6 agains. You're giving them this, you're giving them that. Bear this in mind too. Queensland went into halftime with a 4-1 penalty count. At halftime, 4-1 to Queensland. So I really don't know what he's complaining about, because we actually didn't get any calls. And I thought Ashley Klein was actually really good in this half and in the game in general. I thought he was really good. And heading into halftime, if you're a Blues supporter, I don't think we could have asked for a better first half. I mean, Nathan Cleary dominated that first half. 2 tries. He converted all of the goals, the conversions. We dominated possession, controlled the ruck, won the battle in the middle of the field. But the massive question for me heading into the second half was, could we do it without James Tedesco? Could we do it without our fullback? And we did do it without our fullback. And I really thought heading into halftime that Queensland could produce another famous comeback that they've done in previous years. But thankfully they didn't. Moving into the second half, though, I mean, this is poor, right? Start of the second half, Kurt Capewell, knock on. I mean, that is for me what made me think, okay, they're not on at all. Like they are not on. They're not there. I mean, that error was so poor. It was a simple tackle, and he just dropped it from under his arm like that. And you just think, wow, this is not the Queensland anyone saw in the first 2 games, and this is not the Blues anyone saw in the first 2 games. The roles had completely switched, and I'm all for it. But 5 minutes into the second half, Sam Walker, I mean, he copped a knock, a very big knock that forced him off the field for another HIA in this game. And it's another Roosters player. I mean, if this is the Roosters, if I'm Trent Robinson, I'm probably taking it, because we've just lost our 2 best players to HIA. But in terms of Origin, Queensland fans holding their breath, because Sam Walker was probably their 2 best. Sam Walker was probably in the 2 best players for Queensland in the first 2 games. And yeah, Sam Walker going out at this point of the game probably had Queensland fans worried, but he did pass his HIA and return in the 60th minute. But we couldn't break through at all. At all. Like, we had about 5 minutes of possession down there, and we just couldn't. We couldn't get down there. Sorry, we couldn't. Let me word that better. We got down there, but we couldn't get the tries. We couldn't execute like we did in the first half for 5 minutes there, and that worried me. That worried the shit out of me because our attack in the first half looked brilliant. Then in the 50th minute, and this is what made me so worried, this try just tells me all I needed to know at that point in the game. I'm like, Selwyn Cobbo scores. Harry Grant went out the back to Walsh, who I thought Walsh was probably one of their better players, and found Kalen Ponga. Ponga goes through the hands to Hammer. Hammer gives it to Cobbo, and now Cobbo probably has about that much room of space to work with. He kicks it. Tolutau Kula, our replacement fullback, kicks it back to Cobbo. Cobbo regathers it and scores a try. I mean, honestly, that is probably the luckiest try I've ever seen. And that luck felt like to me, shit, they're back in it. They're back in it. And this is where in the other two games, we probably stress out and let them score 20 to 30 points. So it was 18-8, but Reece Walsh had the kick this time instead of Sam Walker because obviously Sam Walker was off for HIA, but Reece Walsh couldn't add the extras. It was 18-8, and those two missed conversions were proving absolutely costly. I mean, these were costly misses, and it could have been 18-12, 6 points a game in the game. But, very thankful that they missed it. Now, moving on into the 56th minute of the game, Queensland launched another attacking kick off the Jack Bostock side. Jojo Fafita challenged the ball, knocks it on, and Bradman Best runs 95 meters, fends off Kalen Ponga, shrugged off Britton Nicola, and ran the length of the field to score one of the best individual tries of the series. Now, the thing about this is on replay, we can all see that Jack Bostock, it comes off his hands in the replay. And I'm thinking, okay, they're going to take this try off. They're going to get the call right. In all honesty, they'll get it right and review it and call no try. But they didn't. They confirmed the try, and I'm thinking, oh, wow, what a big call. Like, that is a massive call in terms of momentum. If they took that try off us, momentum's probably still with Queensland, but I think that call knocked the absolute souls out of Queensland, and they just didn't look any chance to come back into this match. And I think on commentary, Cameron Smith was very salty. Like, you could hear his anger through commentary. He's like, you have to call that back. You cannot get that wrong. I mean, obviously, in a game like this, you cannot get that wrong. But every part of me knows that if this was Queensland scoring, he would have just sat back and said absolutely nothing. He would have just sat there, been like, yeah, no, that's a try. They won't call it. They don't need to call it back. But because it's us, obviously, he's going to be very biased, and that's something that I think should not be happening in a commentary box. You should be completely unbiased. And whether you agree with that call or not, it doesn't matter. It's up to the bunker. It's done now. And you know what? Bradman Best, out of all the players to get a try like that, he probably deserved it because he was a big player for us on Wednesday night. Nathan Cleary converts it, makes it 24 points to 8. and New South Wales regained complete control of the game. Now, not long after that, Queensland got some great news in the 60th minute. Sam Walker passed his head injury assessment and returned for the final 20. But the interesting call, Billy Slater dropped Kalen Ponga from the side. Oh, wow. What a big call that was. I mean, I have no idea why he took him off. Obviously, he wasn't playing his best game, but to take a player like Kalen Ponga off in that moment is such a big call and a game-defining call. And it really was. It really was a game-defining call. But New South Wales then suffered another blow in the 61st minute with Jack Bostock going to contest a high ball over Reece Walsh, but he drops it and he landed heavily on his head. It was a Category 2 HIA, but he failed that HIA, which means we had two players down to head injury assessments. And I thought that with two HIAs, you get to bring a fifth one on straight away. Apparently, we, New South Wales, had to wait for the HIA to be completely failed until we could bring a fifth player on. So that's something I didn't know, and now I know that. And I was really mad at Laurie Daly because he moved Cameron Murray into the centres when I thought he could have brought a fifth player on. Unfortunately, he couldn't do that, and he can only do so much according to the NRL laws. So he had to shift Cameron Murray to the centres, which was really bad for us because Queensland capitalised on that positional switch. Harry Grant goes to Sam Walker. Walker sweeps out the back to Walsh. Walsh threw a pass that hit the ground. Robert Toya reacts super quick to it, scoops the ball up, and he threw a fend on Cam Murray. The absolute strength to put Cam Murray on the ground like that, I mean, is absolutely spectacular to see. Robert Toya is such a beast of a player. He draws in Bradman Best, who's on the wing, and Robert Toya just has a simple draw and pass to send Jojo Fafita over to make the game 24-12. Another try, and they miss another conversion to go 0 from 3 with the boot. I mean, honestly, that is so poor in Origin level. You'd probably expect better from a Queensland side, and I mean, they left 6 points out there. That could be 24-18, 6 points the game. Only one try short. And for Queensland fans that are blaming the referee, you should honestly be blaming the goal kickers because they really fumbled the bag with their goal kicking. So, yeah, 0 from 3. And we move on to another controversial moment. But this time, they got the call completely right. They got the call completely right in this moment. I think it was Sam Walker launching a massive end-over-end kick downfield. And Tolutau Kula misjudges it and lets it bounce. Now, why on God's green earth are we letting the ball bounce in an Origin arena? I know that he's a centre in NRL level, but when you're called upon, you need to make those moments happen. And he was really nervous under the high ball. Queensland noticed that. Robert Toya picks the ball up and pounces over for a try. This was worrying. Then it would have been 24-16 with a conversion in front, and you'd assume they wouldn't have missed that. But the bunker stepped in and made the right call. After reviewing that play, they saw Max Plath was offside from the kick chase, and he was within the 10 metres where Tolukula was. So they took the try off Queensland, which was the right call in the end. And that probably took took it out of Queensland as well. And this is what made Queensland frustrated because after that, the Blues took a full advantage, and just a minute later, we get downfield, and Hamaso Tabuai-Fidow does a really dirty, dangerous lifting tackle on Tolu Taukula, and we get a penalty from 38 metres out. And I think this was with about 12 minutes to go now, 10 minutes to go. Yeah, very, very good play from the New South Wales Blues to take the two. Nathan Cleary, I mean, how can you doubt him, especially in his best performance in Origin Series? He nails it, makes it 26 points to 12, and Queensland now absolutely up in the air about what they got to do to bring this game back. I mean, it's pretty much over at this point. And with in the 79th minute, I've missed a play here. As you can see here in the 72nd minute here with Sam Walker, let me just highlight that error. Sam Walker gets the ball from Munster out the back, and he tries to throw a miracle pass over to, I think it would have been Robert Toyer. Bradman Best to read that intercept, or to read that pass and intercept it, I mean, took all the pressure off us, and it summed up Bradman Best's performance. I think it was outstanding for us, such a big inclusion, and yeah, he loves New South Wales, so it's so good to see him back. And in the 79th minute, we saw one final defensive effort that summed up our nights. I mean, Moses spotted space in behind, kicks a grubber in. Cannon Ponga did get back to that ball. He come back on the field, and yeah, I think it would have been Stephen Crichton just absolutely picks him up from behind like this, and Moses and Moses Hudson-Young and Bradman Best all there in support to take Ponga back into the in goal. And that to me showed, even though the game was already won for us, I mean, that summed up our effort the entire night, and that impressed me the most out of every play in the Origin game 3. Now, the last play of this game is just simply amazing. Nathan Cleary shaping to kick a field goal. He fakes it, and all the Maroons defenders bit in on him. He ran left to Mitchell Moses. Moses found Bradman Best, who ran underneath. Best threw a cutout ball to Cam Murray. Murray linked up with Isaiah Yeo. Yeo straight in the attack, found Payne Haas. Haas then went back to Cameron Murray. Murray found Blake Brayley in support. Brayley burst through a hole, and he slipped over and found Hudson Young backing up in support. He threw the offload to Hudson Young in the 80th minute and try. 30 points to 12. What a way to finish the series and the game. I mean, it was one of our best attacking performances in the last few years, probably since Madge. And yeah, I'm happy to say that Laurie Daly proved me incredibly wrong. I had big criticism on Laurie Daly as a coach. One win in 6 Origin series, and then now it's 2 in 7. I mean, I'll give him so much credit. The way he set this team up on Wednesday night, the game plan was perfect. We went after the halves. We finally were able to get through to the halves, which is what we'd been trying to do for the previous 2 games. We won the series, and for me, the player of the match has to go to Nathan Cleary. I mean, honestly, it is so good to see that he performed on the big level. Now, if you guys haven't watched already, please go back and watch my Origin preview. I said in order for New South Wales to win, Nathan Cleary needs to stand up. And he did that leaps and bounds. I mean, 2 tries, nailed every conversion, stripping that ball to make it 18-0. I would call that a try. I wouldn't call it a try assist, but a very big involvement in leading up to that try. Um, yeah, I mean, he has cemented himself in Origin history. I mean, he is a legend. He will be an Origin legend. And I hope now that Nathan Cleary can kick on because, man, that Origin performance was good. And that's what us New South Wales fans have been longing to see for so long. We've been waiting for that. So, for me, player of the match, Nathan Cleary. But I'm not going to go past a few players here. Payne Haas, Isaiah Yeo, Cameron Murray, Liam Martin, and Bradman Best. Absolutely enormous in this game. Like they were all vital in us winning this game. So those are the players I'll give credit to. Forward of the match, Payne Haas, carry with intent. I mean, his work rate is unbelievable. The offloads he produced, which is great. Unsung hero, Bradman Best. I mean, that 95-meter try is simply amazing. But his defense was so impressive too. The intercept late in the game, very, very big play. So those are the players I'm going to give some credit to. But for me, the moment of the match, it was Nathan Cleary's first try. I think stepping through the defense, he beat Ponga, Munster, Cotter, and Kurt Capewell. He announced to the whole of New South Wales and to the whole of Queensland that he's here to stay and he is going to be an immortal. Like, quite simply, probably in my top 3 halfbacks that I've ever watched play the game. So, moment of the match is that first try, but the biggest turning point has to be the 95-meter try. I mean, it really could have gone the other way. They could have scored, and instead, Bradman Best goes all the way downfield and scores. For me, I'm so happy I can relax this week. Dragons won on Saturday afternoon. New South Wales wrapped up the series. The unwinnable series, this was. The unwinnable series. Let's just talk about that. A few years ago, 2020, we copped karma because Paul Gallen called Queensland the worst Queensland side he's ever seen. Now it's time for Queensland to cop that same karma back to him because all the reports was we could not win this game. We had no chance. We were no bloody chance with Laurie Daly there. Nathan Cleary doesn't know how to step up in their face because we just did that. And I want to give so much credit to Loza Daly. As much as I still do not rate his coaching, he did win the series for us. He won it for our state, and he's been a legendary player. So that's all you can ask for. He's made our state happy, and that means he's done his job well for this State of Origin series. If that's it for him, then all the best because he went out on a high with New South Wales. Just going to go through some comments before I end the review here. Bring Costa on for the next one. I think it would be amazing. I will have to get Costa on for a podcast. Munster is a cat. It was good to see him get bullied by our forwards. Yeah, and Liam Martin was in his head. You can tell they don't like each other, but Liam Martin had it over him. I can kick better than Sam Walker. I'd like to see that. That'd be funny. Val Holmes wouldn't have missed those Queensland conversions. No, he wouldn't have at all. He would not miss those conversions. And yeah, he would definitely not miss those. How good was it seeing Cam Smith having a sook at full time? It was quite annoying though. Like even with Andrew Johns as well, but Andrew Johns I don't think is nearly as bad. I think Andrew Johns is able to find a fair ground and give credit to Queensland. But Cameron Smith just sulks. Like, honestly, if I found a photo of Cameron Smith crying on the internet, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he was absolutely livid. He was sooking all game. And after in the review, it was just very unfortunate to have to listen to that. I think Darren Lockyer is an absolute professional. He controls himself way better than that. How are you going? I'm good. Jag, how are you? Immortal now? Yep, I agree. He will get an immortal one day. Bradman, best game 3 specialist. Only played in third game each time he's played. Yeah, he's absolutely huge. How's Big T going? Well, I haven't heard from him, so can't be going too good. It's been a good week as Dragons fan, that's for sure. And the boys have the bye. Yep. 2 points into 4, very huge for us, especially being in last. I done my NRL tips earlier in the week. I think I did them on Tuesday, but tonight I've got the Warriors winning. And Dragons NRLW on Sunday, I will give my tip for that. I have the Dragons winning against Parramatta. I'm pretty sure it is at 140 on the weekend. To be sure, it is 145. I will just check. 1:45 p.m. Sunday. I think we can win. I reckon by maybe 6 to 12 points. But yeah, that's my tip for the Dragons NRLW team. Thank you guys. If you enjoyed today's Origin review, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know your player of the match down in the comments below. And what your moment of the series, the entire series was, because this was highly enjoyable for me. And to end on a talking point, does everyone let me know if Nathan Cleary delivered the greatest Origin performance of his career? Thanks so much for watching episode 20 of the Beyond the Tryline podcast. I hope you enjoyed. And if you're a New South Wales fans, enjoy the celebrations. And if you're a Queensland fan, my commiserations to you. But then again, not really sorry, because as a New South Welshman, I will be cheering all weekend long. That's it. It's been your boy Rugby League Roundup. Take care. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.